Have you ever noticed that sometimes you can get a full night's sleep and still be knackered the entire day? And then other times you only sleep for a few hours and yet you're buzzing and you're full of energy for the rest of the day. In the words of His Holiness Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe, that's energy. Hi, my name's Jack, and I'm a wee guy from Scotland who lives in Colombia, and I used to spend, every minute of every day feeling lesser than others, anxious, depressed, miserable, hopeless. And over the course of, the last few years, I've managed to change my life, and now I feel pretty good 90% of the time. I started this YouTube channel because there's a lot of esoteric things which have helped me change my life for the better, but I think that a lot of the way that spirituality is presented to the world is a bit fucking pretentious. So I'm just here to share what's worked with me and hopefully have a few laughs along the way. Energy. It powers your phone. It cooks your scrambled eggs. It dries your favourite shirt on the radiator on a Friday afternoon before a big night out on the town. E=mc². Einstein stated that mass and energy are fundamentally the same with that famous equation, which means that the building blocks of reality, which is matter, by the way, this is matter. My hand is made of matter. This is physical matter. Another word for matter is a particle. And quantum theory states that all matter, all particles have both physical properties and energetic properties. Now, what does that mean? That means that physical matter around us, even though it seems solid, has the potential or is actually energy. And that means that energy is the fundamental building block of reality. Energy is that potential stuff out there that's floating about. If you've ever looked at the sun for too long and then you take your eyes away and you start seeing like little amoebas floating about, that's energy. A quick test to show you that I'm not talking shite. Rub your hands together like this for 10 seconds. And now hold them apart about 6 inches and see if you can feel a little gentle energetic force in between your hands. It should be sort of like you're coming up against a little wall. Obviously, if you go, you're not going to feel it. It's very subtle. Can you feel it? That's energy. And learning how to nurture and cultivate this energy is one of the most important fucking things in the world. Because if you've got no energy, you've got no hope. What happens when you're depressed and anxious? You lie under the covers with your YouTube and you're like, oh, I can't be bothered washing my dishes. I can't be bothered fucking cleaning my laundry. What is that? I can't be bothered means you don't have any energy. Whereas what about when you're in the best form you've ever been in your life? What is that like? You're buzzing, you're bouncing from here to there and everywhere. Your chat's flowing. You're going fucking mental. You've got energy. So having energy equals good life. No energy equals bad life. So it must be pretty important to figure out how to get more energy, don't you think? And so you can get energy from food. You can get energy from sleep. You can get energy from shagging, which also can take energy depending on who it is you're shagging. But you'll also notice that when you go and meet certain friends and you have a phenomenal conversation filled with banter and wit and humour, you'll come away from that conversation, even if it's on the phone, be like, ding, feeling amazing for the rest of the day. That's that random ethereal form of divine energy that I'm talking about here. So how is it that happens? Why is it that sometimes you have it and other times you don't have it? That is the topic of this video. So let's do a little thought experiment. Okay, imagine you've broken up the love of your life. It just happened all of a sudden. They phoned you and they're like, you're in the bin, you're done. I don't like you anymore. I've got a new man. He's handsomer and he's taller. Or I've got a new woman. So for months, what would that information do to you? It would make you utterly depressed. You wouldn't be able to leave your bed. You wouldn't have any energy for anything. You'd be crying all the time. Wah, 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 wah. And then imagine that all of a sudden, you got a text from them. They're like, can you phone me now? And they phone you and they say, baby, it was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life breaking up with you. I want to take you back. Let's have another shot. Let's go again. In one instant, you would go from the fucking bin, pit of despair, to ding, bouncing about the room, dancing about the room. That's energy. And the reality is that energy is always there for you to tap into. It is not something that requires sleep, diet, any of these things, although these things are important as well, of course. But there's a reason that Elon Musk can fucking drink Diet Cokes and be a fat shite and still be working 16 hours a day when most of us struggle to be productive. It's because he's tapped into this other source of energy. And you should be experiencing a tremendous amount of energy every moment of every day, from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. And the reason you don't is because you block the flow of energy into your life. Now we're going to get a bit woo-woo on you, okay? There's energy out here and there's energy in here, okay? And the way that one interacts with the other is through your energy centers. Bum, 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 bum. Also called your chakras. Now, I know you can't see energy. I know you can. And so that's probably why you think, oh, it can't be true because I can't see it. Well, you can't see gravity, and that's true. You can't see Wi-Fi, and that's true. You can't see your willy past your fucking belly in the shower, but you know that's still there. Now, your energy centers are called your chakras, and there's 7 of them, plus this wee one that floats up here. It's a bit random, and we could get into it, but we're not going to get into it. The point is that when these chakras are open, the energy can flow in, and you feel fucking fantastic. When they're closed or blocked, the energy gets stuck, and it can't flow, and then you feel shite. So the way to feel more energy in your life is to learn how to stay open to the energy that's coming into you from the universe. Easier said than done, because a lot of the reason that these chakras or energy centers are closed is because of negative childhood programming that's happened to us when we're younger, you know. And then, you know, you're having a conversation with your partner and they say this thing that triggers you in a certain way, and you close and you get angry, you know. Or you go to a restaurant and it's not the kind of restaurant that you like, and the food's a little bit too cold, and then you go, I don't like this restaurant, and you close. Or your boss says something to you and you don't like it, and then you go, he shouldn't have said that to me, and you close. And so the goal of spirituality, the goal to get more energy, the way to feel fucking great in your life is to stay open regardless of what happens, to unblock all this shite that's fucking blocking up your energy centers, and then everything just flows super well, and you have all this energy and joy and motivation in your daily life, and you get that kind of spiritual glow, and you start speaking with long pauses between your sentences because you're spiritual. Now the question becomes, okay, how do I keep them open? And you know, this is like the entire basis of spirituality, so it's sort of like a complex, multi-layered thing. But a few basic things you can do is, and this is going to sound like the shitest advice of all time, but you're not doing it, so I'm going to tell you anyway. Do more of the things that make you feel good. When you feel good, your energy centers are open and the energy is flowing and you get more energy. And so if you keep doing things that make you feel bad, you're going to continue to feel bad and you're going to continue to be closed. Things that used to make me feel bad that I stopped doing, cocaine, lots of booze, you know, watching fucking YouTube, watching Netflix, all these things that I was doing on a consistent basis, afterwards I would feel terrible. And so by removing these things from my life, gave myself the ability to feel more good. It's also important to pay attention to the things which make you feel good. You know, actually in your moment-to-moment life, watch the activities where afterwards you have more energy. When I speak to this friend, I feel more energy afterwards. When I speak to this friend, I feel less energy. When I read this kind of book, I feel more energy. When I read this kind of book, I feel less energy. You need to figure out what these things in your life and do more of them. It's shite advice, but you're not doing it. Another thing that's really worked for me, even in the last, month, has been to work on projects that really move the needle in your life. If there's something that you deep down feel like you should be doing, like for me, for example, this YouTube channel, also starting my own businesses, there's energy in you that wants to be expressed, and when you don't do it, you suppress it, you don't allow it to flow, and therefore you start feeling worse. But when you actually let that stuff start to flow, when you get it out you get all this energy back from the universe because you're not blocking it anymore. So figure out the projects that you want to do that are like these big dream goals of yours, start working towards them, and I fucking guarantee that you're going to start feeling better than you've ever felt in your life. There are also the obvious things of like diet, exercise, meditation, all the normal things that you do in order to make your physical being a bit more harmonious to live in. But other than that, there's the ethereal stuff, which is the fact that closing off to energy is a choice. So in every moment you can choose to open, but you choose to close in many different moments throughout your day. So I do as well. This is not me saying that I'm not like this. And the point is that you need to start paying attention to your life, to figuring out the situations and the moments and the things which make you close off and go into that kind of like state of mind. And so by paying attention to it, when you're in that situation in the future, you're going to feel the pang, the urge to close. And what you should do instead is just to allow whatever is happening, completely allow it, while being totally relaxed. Regardless of what you're experiencing, fear, anxiety, shame, just stay relaxed with it and let it be. Don't let it affect your overall state. That's what it means to stay open. Another way to look at an energy blockage is tension. That's a more 3D way to look at it. When we tense, that's us closing to the flow of energy in our lives. And there are of course better resources than me. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a good guy. His whole thing is about, the energy centers and tapping into your own energy and all that kind of shit. So I would recommend checking out some of his meditations. A good one's Blessing of the Energy Centers. I'll link the YouTube video down below. There is an introduction that's half an hour where he teaches you the instructions of what to do in the video, which is also important because it's quite subtle and nuanced. And if you just jump into the YouTube, then you might have a hard time. So potentially it's a better idea to actually buy the meditation for like 25 quid on his website. But that's up to you. In conclusion, the only thing you really want from life is to feel joy, energy, love and enthusiasm on a moment-to-moment basis every single day, regardless of the events that are happening in your life. And learning to work with energetics and allow that energy to flow is going to help you get there. So thank you very much. Watch some other videos, smash the like button, and see you soon.